residents are decrying the rising robbery cases around the Kumasi Children Park Enclave. Residents of Omagrom in Kumasi are concerned about the spike in robbery cases. In recent days, criminals have turned the neglected Kumasi Children's Park into their haven to subject the unsuspecting public to armed attacks. Love FM's Nana Boachi Dankwa Yadom visited the enclave and now reports.
The Kumasi Children's Park at Amikum has been non-functional for over 2 decades. The enclave is overgrown and serves as a hideout for criminals who rob passers-by of their belongings. Residents and others commuting around the park often fall prey to these criminals. So after several years of neglect and inactivity, this is the state of the Amikum Children's Park. The dilapidated Children's Park has now turned into a haven for criminals. Residents want the park to be free of hooligans. Nothing works over here, so we are suffering as a community. There is nothing positive. There are always murder cases. The main road is where they stand to stop people.
Years ago.
They stabbed one man I know. He was coming from Afokwanta, and when he got down, they quickly rushed him.
He said, "Baby, what kind of kind of betting? Yeah, Niso, that's the Ubina country. Yeah, I never cost so handy. In fact, airtime.
If I show chronology, a dose on Wahapa, Sebo, and numerous.
The criminal cases are enormous. You can't pass here at 7:30 p.m.
Boys too. Omufri Muraimu, across so Quanaga soon am hasi. Tiname de care baba kukuta brantain say. And no Jina Quan Vinti Mijina and a boy pay on the sober train hokra. Copim so muj gas on a bag and no mudimika and be real bushy has said.
I witnessed several robbery cases as well. It's devastating considering the schools around.
I'm crying in I'm quite way soon echo. No, we no chrono. Boys in Guhasan, yes, I know. Etete mano enti ha adwen pa nti yesre se omumwana saa kwaye we yenyim free hamaye
chese eniema ekoso wo Children Park na yade a ha adwen papa because akromvusam ne awudisam ekoso no edoso even so bi fra kra eba no wotwamu asa nyese bi ebeye watch night ewa ha nipa ni si ya ombetwitwa nse ka age ne ho niema boy bi kopore ahomache be se 4:30 It's
very worrying. You can't pass here at night. They stabbed a student of Kumasi Polytechnic not long ago. We would plead with the police to intervene. Nana Boachi Dankwa reporting for Joy News.
And over 34,000 children in the northeast region of Ghana have no furniture. These children carry chairs from home to sit on stones or slum it hard on the bare floor. In the first part of the 4 series titled Ghana's School of Shame, Joy News' feature editor Jojo Kobina reports the lack of furniture on schools demoralizes children in the northeast.
Are you ugly? Yes. Good. All of you should write. Become what? President, teachers, doctors. Are you ugly? Yes. Okay, good. Be happy.
In 30 minutes of standing and writing examinations, he confesses that all did not go well.
Okay, didn't be your mass examiner. Maybe your jelly, between a little can tang ball, elephant calbe, big dark, and look a count and a calocus up. Mabucan, Mbisiba Palace up. Lubumurana.
The nearest school to the community is Bintri, which is an hour's drive away and more than 2 hours walk. So Emmanuel and other children endure the harsh realities here. Because he could not express himself well in English, I tried to find out whether he could read.
This book consists of two paper, and well, paper 2, which come free in your annual book, and paper 1 on your objective, tell and well, see paper 2, well learn 1 hour after, which the annual book will be.
So Emmanuel, David just wrote an exam, and I'm just about to read the instructions of the paper that he just wrote. And what he's been trying to read is, this booklet consists of 2 papers. Answer paper 2, which comes first in your answer booklet, and paper 1 on your objective test answer sheet. Paper 2 will last 1 hour, after which the booklet will be collected. Do not start paper 1 until you are told to do so. Paper 1 will last 45 minutes. Emmanuel David is writing the end of term examination, particularly the 3rd term. It's clear that even the instructions for the paper he cannot read. So you can wonder exactly how he will be able to answer these questions. Emmanuel is not alone. Many of his mates cannot read also.
I want to tell my problem. We don't have bleeding and chair. We don't have unit room and toilet room. We don't have teachers. 9 soldiers, 2 trained teachers. The time that this time the teachers will come, they run away and leave it because we don't have bleeding. The time that if you have to come to school, you feel lazy because we don't have bleeding.
I say, we are talking for you people are going 10 and 9, but we don't have a school. We come and just stand like that. We want to be the police and soldiers and sisters of our officers. Our school there we can be. Do you see? And we want to talk for you people to send for him. Who? Nana, but we have to know. So that for you don't have a school. Very professional school. They decent we want new. So he's come and do it for us.
We don't have a volunteer. Teachers go and collect the 2 people and volunteer to school. We pay for the volunteers.
Many of his mates cannot read also and cannot express themselves. It is looking very grim here. They have just 2 teachers to teach 9 subjects in 3 classes. They have no textbooks. Takpa Mary teaches here. She was posted from Tamale and promoted to the position of headmistress, but she is distressed because of the appalling condition of her school.
I even regretted for coming home because when I was in Tamale I was enjoying. But when I came here, actually, you can imagine that it will come to a time that they will call us for workshops, my assistant and myself. One will go, nobody will be here to take care of the students. I have to give my motto to the one that was wearing white is a volunteer. I have to volunteer, give my motto to the volunteer, fuel him to come and be with the students, and we'll go for the workshop. How can 2 teachers teach about 9 subjects? Here they have to contribute for the volunteer because the volunteer cannot come and be teaching without taking something to buy soap. Because of that, to me, I'm just suffering. I do tell my colleagues that this my appointment is a punishment, not promotion.
Apart from JHS 1 and JHS 2, where students carried chairs from their various homes and grabbed chairs from a nearby church, all classes sit on the bare floor, primary 6 to primary 1. Primary 1 and kindergarten study under trees. The hot, sweltering weather mixed with the dry Hamatan winds make life uncomfortable, but the children endure. The lack of basic infrastructure is depressing. A national service teacher, Jamfo Lyndon Tanko, who is an old student of the school, decided to serve his school by coming to teach here. He recalls that the learning conditions in the past were way better than the current conditions.
I studied here for my primary school up to my junior high. I continued my senior high school at Nalergu Senior High School, and I continued
as a crisis, and his reasons are:
it's in a crisis. It's in a crisis of low investment. It's in a crisis of low prioritization. It is in a crisis of exclusion, because a policy arising out of a constitutional mandate, which is supposed to be universal and compulsory, is not universal, it's not compulsory, it is not available to all. And once they are Ghanaian or school-going age who want an opportunity to access free basic education but cannot do so because of the lack of schools, the lack of conducive learning environments,
Well, expect more in the series to come, but let's get more on this. Joining us now is Peter Nochukutu. He's ranking member on Parliament's Education Committee. He's also MP for Akachi North. He joins us for a discussion on this. Honourable, thank you for your time. I'm sure that you've also watched this particular documentary. How is it coming to you? And as the minority in Parliament, what steps do you intend to initiate to try and get some answers?
Pardon me, can you come again?
I'm just asking, as minority in Parliament, what do you intend to do to try and mount pressure for government to act?
On which issue, please?
Well,
Hello?
yes, I'm just talking about the Ghana School of Shame. I mean, the documentary that we've just aired, a couple of minutes ago. I'm just wondering what the minority side of the House is willing to do just to try as much as possible to get answers.
Hello, sir. If you are asking what minority is doing, if you can get me the main issue that you're talking about because of the network.
Probably we'll try and raise the Honourable Peter Nochukutu back on the telephone lines now, and we'll get some more on this. It appears that we're having some challenges there. Well, here at the Multimedia Group, we actually launched the Classroom project over a year ago as a solution to two of the hundreds of weak school structures dotted across the country. The first project, situated at Breman Jamara in the Esikumado-Bimbrakwa district of the Central Region, is currently at the roofing stage and requires more funds for completion. The second project is in the Tolon area in the northern region, with construction yet to start. Over 700 school children will benefit from the project when completed. My colleague Richard Kojonyako visited the Breman Jamara DA Basic School site this morning and comes through with this report.
Years ago, 6 kindergarten kids perished when they wanted to access education. 6 years on, the multimedia group decided to take up a project, but the project is at a roofing level. But Kojo, the current structure the students are studying in is in a deplorable state. This very wall, as soon as you hit it slightly, it shakes. And when it rains, the students have to vacate the classroom they study under, and then they run for cover. So they miss classes during the rainy season, and that is why the multimedia group decided that we will not allow any untoward thing to happen again before we rush in to report, but rather we are taking some proactive steps in ensuring that the children study under safe environment, under safe conditions. So the students are currently on break. We want to chat with a few of the students to gauge what and how they feel when it rains. What's your name? Your name is what?
Prince.
So which class are you?
Form 1.
Form 1. So tell me about this building. How does it feel studying in this classroom? In the classroom na ewa hade say esua za oyeden.
Esua de enye.
Enye. Adenti na enye.
Say dan ye papa.
Enye papa. Adenti den na wo hu a office dan enye papa. Okay. So it's the students want to tell us a lot more. So let me engage more of the school peoples. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
My name is Richard Nyako.
Richard Nyako. Oh, my namesake. You know my name is Richard Nyako as well. Okay. So which class are you?
Form 2.
Form 2. Okay. So tell me about this building you currently study in. I mean, when it rains, what happens?
But say a dining
A dining him. I didn't see a dining him.
say na say in suba. But say in suna a dining a shake.
Sa. Okay, inti se basa na den na moye.
Ebi wa wana se nsu na no ye de anan ya akọ. Ya kwewe. Ti se nsu na etia na ya sanso aba.
Se we hu de wori sidan fufuru bi wa hade. Wa hade. Wo share se de wori sidan en oye hum den. Oye wonde. Na sisi edan wo nwie. Nti eba asem na ebeka ma edan wo ewie. Sisi ya se nsu ta edan hihim nsu no so obo hon classroom.
Acha catch obi ase. Obi acha obi abetun abo bia. Omba yen see a school down for.
So this is one of the pupils in this classroom. Let's move to the project that we are talking about, the new project that has reached the roofing level. So this is it. They have provided some kind of materials, but I mean, the strength is not enough to complete the entire thing. And that is why I am here. I am appealing to you. It's my project. It's your project. We do not want to wait any longer for other lives to be perished in the name of accessing education.
Okay, our very own Emefa Etiamwa early is project lead for the classroom project. She joins us now in studio, and Emefa, we've seen the pictures for ourselves, live images of what we've got into. I must first of all congratulate you and the team for the hard work. How did we even get here in the first place?
It's been a long journey. So this was just a little over a year ago that we launched this project. As your intro suggested, the aim was just to solicit support for two communities, one in the central region, the other in the northern region. So they'll be able to put up or fix 2-week school blocks in their community. Right. We have started the one in the central region, which you can see on the screen. So it's at the roofing stage, as you can see. But we need more funds to be able to complete the work. We need money to fix the roof or get the roofing sheets. Yes, we have had quite a number of companies, individuals coming on board to offer some form of support. But then, given where we have reached, and you know how things have become lately, it's been tough. So, as much as possible, whoever can in any way support so that we'll be able to complete the two projects and give it to the respective communities.
So the structure we see on the screens now, just describe that for us. What's this?
Okay, so this is a classroom, 3 classroom units block. It has a library, it has a computer lab, it has a staff common room, and a headmaster's office. So you know you are going to have 7 spaces in all. It's quite big, and we are using the hydroform technology. It's not the everyday block and mortar kind of structure. This one is a specially mold block. In fact, all of this, we did it on the ground. We didn't have to...
from the site.
From the site. Right. So we needed a special kind of sand to be able to do that construction. And we got it in the community, so we're able to put it together to start the construction. There's been lots of support from the members of the community to put the structure together in terms of communal labor. They were there to support the site engineer in terms of water, in terms of mortar work, in terms of bricklaying and all of that. At this stage that we are, we need professionals to handle the rest of the work, which is the roofing, laying the wood on the superstructure and then putting the roofing sheet on it. That's one you wouldn't just go for any community member to do that. You need a special professional to be able to do that. And that is where we need more help, because it comes at a cost. It means that we are engaging the services of people outside the community. We are talking about the roofing sheets. There's no roofing sheets. They don't produce roofing sheets in the community. Yes, some people have offered some form of support in terms of financial support, but it hasn't been adequate. And as I said earlier, the economy has been tough, so the prices of goods and materials have gone up. And so our projections concerning this project has, if I would say, multiplied. Right. And so in that sense, we need to top up to be able to complete it.
So if any member of the general public wants to support the project now, how do they get in touch? What will be required, and what will be the process to follow?
Okay. At the moment, we have a special Momo number, MTN Momo number available for the project. Right. In case you want to do a Momo transaction, you can just send your Momo donations to 059 303 8832. Okay. I'll take the number again. Yes. It's 059 303 8832. Either than that, assuming you want to do a bank transfer, you would want to send your transfer to Carl Bank, the Castle Road branch. The account number is 00901 010 54191. Let me take that one too again. So the number is 00901 0054191, and that's the Castle Road branch of the Access Bank Ghana Limited. So these two mediums are available for you to be able to, just in case you are not able to get these numbers, I can share. You can also call 0242 161570 for further inquiries. We can always guide you as to what you can do to be able to let your support reach us, so that these two communities will be able to complete their structures. Once
everything is in place, how much more time are we likely to see the completion of this project?
So the roofing in itself doesn't take, maximum within 2 weeks we are done. So the structure, we only need doors, and yes, that reminds me, we need, what's the name? Desks.
Okay, as well.
Yes, for the children to sit on to be able to learn. So if somebody can, we need at least 150 pieces. Each class will take 50 pieces of the dual desk. So if you can get 150 pieces, that's it. So within 2 weeks, if we get at least 60,000 Ghana cedis, we'll be able to finish all of that. Then we hand the structure over to the Breman Jamara community. That is the Central Region 1. Right. Yes, exactly.
What will be your final message to our viewers and those who would want to?
I'd say that the project which is ongoing is going to benefit a lot of school children. At least 700 school children are going to benefit from these two projects, the one in the Central Region and the one in the Northern Region. And so we want our children to be in school. The Breman Jamara has a history, and a very bad one for that matter, and we don't want to go back to that. And to avoid repeating history, we are encouraging that as much as you can help, whether in kind or in cash, please do, so that we can provide these safe learning environments for the school children. They are our children. Yes, you might not live in that community, but why would you want to sit back and watch for us journalists to come and announce to you that school children have been killed in a weak classroom block? We never want to hear that. It's not good for us. So to avert that, let's quickly finish the block for the children so that they will have a safer learning environment.
Right, and that's Elia Telma, project lead for the classroom project. You have the numbers on your screens. You can always reach out to Joy News for some updates on that. Back to our earlier story where we were talking about Ghana School of Shame. I want to bring in now Peter Nochu-Kutu, who's ranking member on Parliament's Education Committee. He's back on the lines with us. Earlier, I was asking about the story which we heard earlier, highlighting the plight of pupils in the Northeast region. I was just wondering what steps you'll be taking as minority in Parliament to try and mount pressure for government to supply the needed resources into those areas.
Yeah, thank you very much. But let me first of all congratulate you and then thank your team for the good work you are doing as far as those two projects are concerned. You have been in the forefront for a very long time now, fighting for such facilities to be provided in communities that they are mostly needed. Congratulations. Yeah, coming back to the situation in those two regions, we have a furniture deficit in a number of schools throughout the country. And it is unfortunate that at this time we should have our children sitting on the floor to write, some putting boards on blocks of cement to write at this time. You know, fundamentally, the provision of furniture in our schools is the responsibility of the district assemblies. Even the provision of classrooms is the responsibility of these assemblies. But because they don't or they are not able to do it, the central government, through GET Fund, has been providing classrooms. So we expect the assemblies to be providing furniture to these basic schools, but they are unable to do so. And I know the Minister of Education for some time has been doing so. But what is important is that the assemblies should be taxed. We don't have to look up to government because they receive a common fund, although it is not that much. They can manage and provide furniture for these basic schools. So, in fact, it's rather shameful that at this time we should be having that challenge. All the same, I spoke with Chairman the other day when we saw this on your network, and we have planned to meet the minister when schools reopen so that they should put in place a program so that basic schools at least should be supplied with furniture throughout the country, because the assemblies are not living up to responsibilities. So central government or the ministry through Get Fund must take up this responsibility and then get school furniture provided to our schools. So that is the decision we have taken. When Parliament resumes, probably next week or in 2 weeks' time, we will take this as a project and then put pressure so that in the formula that we will approve before the first quarter of this year for Get Fund, we would like to see substantive budgetary allocation for school furniture in our basic schools.
But then the entire, I mean, this problem is just the least of what's happening in our public schools. So policy-wise, or in terms of legislation, what more can we be doing to ensure an equitable distribution of resources to these schools?
Yeah, one basic discovery we have made is that they put up the classrooms without furniture accompanying it. So we are in talk with the authorities that when you award classroom block, it should be accompanied with furniture. You can't just construct a 6-unit classroom block and leave it like that without furniture. So provision of furniture should be a component of the contract, so that going forward, once you award the contract, you know that at any cost there will be furniture for them. So that you don't take the provision of furniture as a different program or contract, so that we can go forward from there. It is a very, very serious problem everywhere throughout the country. And I'm sure you have gone around the country and you have seen it. We are talking to government, we are talking to the Ministry of Education that they should give more funding to Get Fund. They should remove Get Fund from the list of capped institutions, so that when they have enough money, they'll be able to provide furniture and other learning materials to schools. Then this problem of textbooks, furniture, and whatnot should be a thing of the past at this time of our independence and educational development. Yeah.
Okay, but then you were talking about Get Fund. Get Fund, as we speak, is not in a good shape, you agree, looking at some of the debt obligations that they would have to fulfill. So that puts them equally in a tight corner, you agree?
Yes, Get Fund, as we say now, has a lot of challenges. It has a lot of responsibilities also to perform. But if Get Fund is given all that is due to get to it, I think they will be able to solve, in fact, about 80% of our problems in the educational sector. In this year's budget, the projected revenue is 4.6 billion Ghana cedis. But what is allocated to Get Fund out of that money is 1.8 billion. So you see that the remaining 2.8 billion, where is it going? And if all that should go to Get Fund, I can tell you they will do a lot for our schools. So that's what we are fighting now, that everything, every person that is due to Get Fund, give it to Get Fund and allow it to manage it and then meet the educational needs of the country. So I am of the view, and as much as the committee is concerned, that leave Get Fund alone out of your capping and realignment policy. Then we see what they can do for education in this country. That is what we are pursuing for Get Fund now, so that they can get enough money, budgetary allocation.
Oh, It's been a pleasure talking to you, sir. Thank you for joining us here on The Pulse. And that's Peter Nochikoto's ranking on Parliament's Education Committee. You're watching The Pulse. We'll be back shortly after these messages.